Pharmaceutical R&D projects can be best described using a decision tree. In these decision trees, we clearly specify all the possible different scenarios, their probabilities, and cash flows. And so in this example, we have a company that's deciding whether or not to invest $5 million into a phase 2 clinical trial. This phase 2 clinical trial is going to last for 2 years. It has a probability of success of 60%. And if it passes these phase 2 clinical trials, the compound's going to move into phase 3 trials. Our phase 3 trials are estimated to cost $50 million, have a 70% chance of success, and if successful, the compound's going to be approved for commercialization. And so we estimate that the commercial value of this therapy upon launch is $150 million. And so the question is whether or not this company should go ahead with this $5 million investment. And so we want to calculate its risk-adjusted NPV, its expected NPV. And so to do this, we're going to start by calculating the expected cash flows of the leaves of our node, and we're going to discount them back, aggregating cash flows along the way until we reach our very first node in our decision tree. So let's start by calculating the expected cash flows in year 5. In year 5, with 70% probability, we are going to earn $150 million. So for our expected cash flows, we get 0.7 times 150. And then with 30% probability, the phase 3 clinical trial is unsuccessful. And if it's unsuccessful, we abandon this project, and our NPV is 0. So times 0. So that's the expected cash flow in year 5. The next step is to discount it back to year 2. And we're told that our discount rate is 20% per year. And so we want to divide these expected cash flows by 1.2 to the 3. Again, we have a 20% discount rate, and we're discounting 3 years back to year 2. And so the expected NPV of going ahead with our phase 3 clinical trial, which costs $50 million, is going to be equal to minus 50 plus this expected discounted cash flow. And so we see that this is equal to $10.8 million. And now, in order to get the expected NPV of our decision of going ahead with the phase 2 clinical trials, we just continue this process iteratively. And so we see that in this case, the expected NPV of going ahead with the phase 2 clinical trial is going to be equal to minus 5 plus, we calculate the expected cash flow in year 2, so it's going to be 0.6 times 10.8, 0.6 times 10.8, plus, with 40% probability, this phase 2 clinical trial is unsuccessful, so we get 0.4 times 0. And then we have to discount these expected cash flows 2 years, so divided by 1.2 squared. And so we see that the expected NPV of going ahead with the phase 2 clinical trial, in this case, is going to be equal to minus $0.5 million. And so we see in this case, this project has a negative expected NPV. And so we would recommend that this company declines the project.